Okay. Girl, you will not believe the day that I had and the time that it took me to get the things together to be on here in front of you. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I'm reading this comment. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Not your first time catching a lot, but you want to hear my thoughts on a white woman. Let me tell you something. I'm an equal opportunity gatherer, critiquer. I be in white women's business. I definitely reside in white women's business as well. So you'll get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But Pink Wig it's gotta give Pink Wig for the homegirl. Hey y'all, right? Okay, let me get my stuff up and running. And actually, let me remove this slide real quick because I just kind of want to be centered. And is my wig positioned correctly? Because I always watch these back and go, girl, your wig was lopsided. My God, you damn. Anyway, I have home training, I promise. So what I will do is I will greet the room. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds to get my business in order, my house in order, honey. And yeah, that'll be the way we work that one. Oh my God, now it's fighting back. Oh, see, this is what I hate about the enemy. The enemy is going to fight back every time. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, girl, she fighting. Okay. There we go. I have it. Do I have the things correct? Hello to everyone who's rolling in. Just give me 2 seconds. 2 sec. Boom. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. Hey, homeboy and homies. Welcome and welcome back to today's Homegirl Hangout. I'm super, super excited. If you're unfamiliar, the Homegirl Hangout is an hour-long, vaguely, CPT, hour-long show where we discuss all things pop culture with critical thought and medium ghetto antics. Mostly medium ghetto antics, lighter on the critical thought. But what are you going to do? Life is a mess. Life is short. And then you die. So you just want to make sure that you get into all of the things, right? I too am very excited about tonight's live. I always love the Homegirl Hangouts. It is a space where I feel like it was important for me to create a space where it felt different for me. It felt like I'm giving myself permission to be less analytical, less critical. Thank you for the pink wig comment. And to just be human, to be imperfect, to be in the moment. Right? I do take my work of cultural analysis and media analysis seriously. It is important because I know my 10-year plan, right? But one of my favorite parts about being in community with my homegirls IRL in real life and here is that we make space for the bullshit. We make space for the mess, right? And so Homegirl Hangout is home to that. Now, to my patrons, one more announcement, and then we're going to get into the mother trucker things. This video wasn't initially supposed to be Patreon exclusive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We just did a Patreon exclusive live Homegirl Hangout. And so I felt like I wanted to set the stage with some of my Act 2 Beyonce things that are going to set the stage for the analysis video, which you'll be getting first. And surprise, patrons, you will also be getting a listening party. When the album drops, we're going to discuss on Patreon whether we should do it at 12 o'clock AM, where it is in EST, or whether we should wait a day. But yeah, you'll be getting a listening party. Anyway, let's move on to the topic of today's video. I try to make my intro under 5 minutes, so let's see if I can do this. It is New Music Friday! Come on, somebody! And so today I want to discuss a myriad of things, right? A lot of music has dropped today. The girls have got their high heels on their jabbies. High heels on their tippies. They've got their high heels on their tippies on the tippity top of your neck. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. You already know it. Yes, we're getting into Chloe, Halle. We're getting into the girls. Wait a minute. Hold on. Who commented this? Is this a joke? Say LOL. You still have time to type LOL. You still have time to type LOL. You know I love you, Powerpuff Girl, but get into Normani's what? The image that she dropped? The image? you know. But we are going to be getting, we're going to be getting into some of that, and we are going to be getting into more in depth, right? We'll talk about the music briefly, in a very concise way, but the more in depth or the information rich parts of today's show is going to be on Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine. And I do believe that this may be her most elevated album yet. And we're going to be talking about Beyonce Act 2. She dropped some things that have gotten the creatures a stirring. And I think that it's worth addressing. Anything Beyonce does is worth addressing. And you guys know, as I said, I do reside in white women's business as well. So things that Ariana Grande does, yeah, she's at the top of my white woman radar, right? She just sings like that little black white girl that she is. She just sings like that little black white girl that she is. But yeah, let's get into the things, right? Oh, and let me say this. I am not a gossip channel. I am not a gossip channel, so I am not deeply invested in who, the personal life piece of this thing. I don't give a who's sleeping with whose husband. It ain't my man. It ain't my man. Because he's not existent. I'm taking too long on the intro. I'm just saying, seriously. But if she did sleep with that lady's man, you dead ass wrong. You know, you dead ass wrong. But again, no shade, not my business. And we are gonna again. I keep saying it again because I want to jump into the things. We're gonna discuss a lot. Let's go. Let's fucking go, Herbie. Because I'm playing around now. Now it's all just a joke and kikis. Let's do it. Let's go. Kaya, we caught you. You problematic. Not you don't care either. Okay, so we're going to discuss new music drops. And when new music drops, there's a lot of new music here, as we can see. Always remind me if I'm pointing to the right side because I'm good for not pointing to the right side. There's a lot of new music to drop. I love that we're focusing on women here. If you saw my most recent video, how the industry's feminism is silencing women, you know that women only make up 1/3 of the music industry, and they are not streamed enough by male-bodied folk, AMABs, and not even streamed enough by women. So we're focusing on women, TJ. But I'm going to do a rating of like hot or not. I'm saving my complex thoughts for Beyonce and Ariana Grande. So I don't want to do too much chatting around, the recent drops. They're just singles. How much can we really say, right? So let us begin with our girl Cardi B. So we're going to do this in a rating of hot or not, okay? Put my hair back. Cardi B recently dropped, but she dropped two things. We're going to focus on Enough because if we focused on the freestyle, like what? Not. Hot or not? Not. But Enough? Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, like very much. Oh, bitch, we'll turn this stove on. Turn this fucking stove off. Okay? It's piping. It is hot. I enjoyed it immensely. I like the beat. I like the beat. And you know what? It is a kind of combative diss-ish track, right? It's aggressive, which is a pocket that Cardi B does really well in. I love hearing her on an aggressive record because her performance voice, right? Not her speaking voice, but her rapping voice is like deeper and it just works, right? She excels in that arena. My critiques would be that the flow is a bit predictable. Cardi B has a very predictable flow. It's not a major critique. I enjoy nuance in the flow. Wait a minute, hold on. Well, lukewarm. Lukewarm. That was my position when I first heard it. I was like, the beat is punching her in the throat. The beat is actually beatboxing you up. I'm scared a little bit. But you remember how I said I like the beat? Do you remember how I said I like the beat? The beat Cardi B is not a lyricist. So when I approach her with that in mind. She's not a lyricist. Um, dare I say, she's not a good rapper. But her delivery is good. She's good for delivering a feeling. She's good for delivering something that you can, do a little 1, 2, 2. And that's just what this is. This is something that, if it came on as I'm getting ready to go to the club or in the club, I'm not gonna be like, who put this on? I'm absolutely please, please, please. Have some decorum, ladies. The visuals were great. All right, let's move on. No, but seriously, um, she was being beatboxed in the single. The standard that I have for her is not the standard that I have for other people because I view her as an entertainer. So entertainers, the bar is, are you going to entertain me? Yes. Right. And I want something that feels good. That's it. And it feels good. Like what didn't feel good? She was literally being kickboxed. Okay. Sumo wrestler body slammed on the goddamn beat. respectfully to her and hers. And so, you know, yeah, but I do think that her rollout makes sense. I love the rollout since she has kind of come back for her sophomore album. As we can tell, she's gearing up to release her sophomore album. We've gotten the Like What freestyle, which was a flop. It was a flop. It was very much not for me, very not energy. We've gotten Enough, which is hot. I think that's a song that is gonna grow on y'all. Y'all hear it in the beat in the background a couple times while you doing your makeup to go out, while you putting on your booty shorts this summer. Girl, yeah, you'll get your life. We've gotten she's been a special guest for the Madonna tour. And she has done some collabs. The Flo Milli collab, and the Flo Milli collab, that's hot. Well, the song was already hot, right? Who do I think added more? I'm going to say SZA. SZA's voice, I don't know if that was in post-production where they dropped her voice an octave, or if she just sang a little bit deeper, if she's getting over a cold or something. But I wasn't expecting her voice to be that deep. Am I the only one that noticed that? However, I love SZA's lyricism. She knows how to write some shit up and make you go, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. It's a little late for me. But I hope the album does well. I'm rooting for Flo Milli. I'm always going to root for Flo Milli. I'm going to be very honest with you. I think Flo Milli can rap. Her voice is just a little too, and my homegirls live for Flo Milli. Well, let me not do this. I refuse. Let's move on. Let's mother truck and move on, okay? So Megan Thee Stallion's Hot Girl Summer Tour announcement, and I'm going to try to roll through this because I want to be talking about Beyonce by like the 25-minute mark. Megan Thee Stallion announced that she is going on tour. Obviously, we know she's gearing up to drop her first album under this new management, this new label, which we live for. We live for the new management. We live for the new label. We live for all of the things. Megan Thee Stallion is an incredible performer. Am I buying a ticket? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm buying a ticket. And she is on fire right now, right? She's managed to stay relevant, even though some of that media press was stuff that she couldn't control. I loved how she's always been able to, even in the darkest of times where people are throwing nasty things at her, she's been able to sustain that hot girl, strong girl, and also the humanity of Megan Pete, but also keep the brand intact. She has not been defeated by the negative press. She has a number one single out. She now has 3 Grammys, 3 number ones. Like, Megan is on some real hot girl shit. And people are like trying to clown her. Like, oh, what is she going on tour with? What is she not going on tour with? What is she not going on tour with? There's Fever, Good News, Traumazine, the mixtapes. There's Something for the Hotties, and whatever Slytherin project she's about to drop, whatever Severus Snape project she's about to drop. There is a fuck ton of music. I have got to stop cursing. This will not be monetized, please. Donate. No, but I'm excited. I'm excited for her to drop this album because I've always felt like Megan has been dropping a couple of good singles on her albums when she was under 1501, but never giving us a body of work where she could say, oh, I feel like every song on this, like she's not giving me a no skips album. I'm going to be honest with you. I love Megan. She's my Aquarius sister down. I will fight for her at Windmill every day of the week. But I'm not sure Megan Thee Stallion has an album with no skips. Right. And so I think that has been because she's been just trying to drop projects to fulfill her contract with 1501. Now that she has moved on, I think that now we can see the upgrade and the evolution in terms of her delivering a full thematic conceptual project, right? Obviously the theme is snakes, and we've gotten Cobra, we've gotten Hiss, which I'm going to be honest with you. I said it before, I'll say it again. I did not like Cobra. I did not like Cobra. And y'all windmilled and tried to beat me up. But say what you want to say, because you can't beat me up. You can't beat me up. But you know, I did not like Cobra, but I appreciated the emotional vulnerability of that song. However, more than anything, I love a conceptual project. Like, I'm a sucker for it, because here it is, this thing did not exist, the entire album, and then you cultivate and string together a story to tell me throughout the project. And each thing is connected to one another, from the imagery to the story, the writing, the sonics. I love that. I freaking love that. I love that. Let's move on. Is there anything I wanted to say? Anything else? No. Let's move on to in your hands, the world is yours when I'm yes! Let me tell you something. After me, you'll never, ever fall in love again. Yeah, and I mean that. Listen, I cut all my niggas off, but they would still wife me. Because after me, you'll never fall in love again. I hope you're watching this right now. He might be. Listen, love in your hands. Obviously, we've all been salivating, waiting on the clip. But this about wraps it up. Vocalist. A lot of these girls can't spell vocalist. Vocalist. Wait, is my mic on? Do y'all hear me better or worse when I do this? Because I'm all in the mic trying to create dramatic moments, and I'm like, is my mic on? Is my mic on? Somebody comment, because in the future, this is going to look real dumb. Hurry up. Okay, the mic is on. Okay, thank you. Stay a real one. One thing about Powerpuff Girl, she got my back. Thank you, Buttercup. Listen, is this thing on? Why would you comment that? I'm cracking up. Listen, I don't think it's too short. Tron, because, you know, it's about 3 minutes. A lot of the girls don't have the luxury. Beyonce did say, y'all know when Beyonce released that like 7-minute just audio. Beyonce delivered us one podcast episode during the Renaissance tour, or just before she did the Renaissance tour, where she had a bunch of fans come out somewhere in LA, and they were sitting in a room. They thought Beyonce herself was going to show up, and it was just an audio file. She said, oh no, I'm just submitting an MP3 file, baby. And Renee will make a guest appearance. In that, she said, I will not accept that people don't want to listen to full bodies of songs. Songs are getting shorter. People want to hear bridges. They want to hear, you know, orchestral. She said a bunch of stuff that basically says that I refuse to believe that people's attention spans are getting shorter. You need to challenge it. And I think that Beyonce is privileged in that Beyonce could drop a 20-minute song. And with the insanity of the Beehive, I'm sad. Excuse me. Move over, bitch. Move the fuck over. I'm sad. You know what I'm saying? I'm sad. I was already sad. I was already dedicated to being sad. I've been sad my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sitter. It's what I do. And so A lot of the girls, even the girls under the tutelage of Beyonce, may not have that luxury, right? So I appreciated that it's just under 3 minutes. In a way, it's a small challenge, right? But everything she's done, from Angels to this, I'm like, when you drop this body of work, it's gonna be up for the other girls. Everybody, sit down, sit down. Don't actually sit down. Women need to be standing up, right? One woman dropping does not mean another woman shouldn't. You are in the minority, especially if you're a woman of color. Everybody drop. Oversaturate the media. Okay, take up space, sonny. You understand what I'm saying to you? Do you got me? I hope we see each other. I feel like we see each other. Crystal, better late than never. Not never, never. And you can always watch it back. And I'm glad that you're here now. Listen, listen. Virgo's Groove is that girl. Baby, come over. So yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this. So good. I'm excited about everything that she's doing. Shout out to her and shout out to DDG. Ooh. Sorry. Shout out to DDG. Let's move on. Let's move on. If it ain't one Bailey sister, it's another. If it ain't one Bailey sister, it's another. Now, as I told you guys, I am a siren. And I was trying to figure out if I was a clover when last we had this discussion, when I was in my when you know English bitch. As you guys know, I'm a siren, meaning that I love Chloe X Halle. Whatever Halle does, she spits and shits gold on it. So I don't know what her individual fan base name is, but I'm that as well. Okay, I'm a fan of all of the things. I stan Chloe in all of her glory. Okay, and I want nothing but the best for my good sis. I lived for this. I led that up like I was gonna say something negative, right? I lived for this. This is where I need her to be sad. This right here is where I need her to be sad. You get me? Because I know people argue that they want to hear Chloe and pop. I hear that. But y'all say that, and she delivers you an up-tempo poppy moment, right? Pop and B moment, and y'all don't stream. I'll wait. I will wait. Y'all say that, and y'all don't stream. This was a chill drop. I enjoyed it immensely. R&B Chloe. Here's another thing. Chloe dropped another song, and I want to talk about this. Honey. Oh, you taste sweet, sweet like honey. I love that song. It's funky, a little bit of disco, pop, R&B. It's infused with a lot of different. It's influenced by a lot. But to me, it just feels funky, right? I love that song. I would love to hear Chloe on that. I think, and I'm going to be very honest with you, I think that Chloe has a tendency to self-sabotage. Is that the word that I want to say? Because she performed that song twice live, and it did not sound like how it did in the studio. She dropped the octave, right? And I think she is nervous. I still think that Chloe is nervous to sing on her own. I do. I think that Chloe is nervous to sing on her own because she relies heavily on her falsetto live. You know, she relies heavily on her falsetto. There's not a lot of chest voice, and I get lost because I'm like, you sung that song, honey, in chest voice on the record. What's going on where you're dropping the octave, giving me low alto, high tenor? It's not cunt the way I want it to be. It's not cunt. I don't know. Let me see what y'all saying. Chloe needs to make Neo Soul. Y'all heard that Tiny Desk performance. The Tiny Desk was cute. Let's see. You're also a siren. I live. When an artist is overthinking it, I do think that she overthinks it a lot. I think that she overthinks it a lot. It's weird. As soon as she went solo, the hate train started. I wonder how B is mentoring her through this. Yeah, it's an unnecessary hate train. We can always accept constructive criticism where it's like me, I said, Chloe, I don't live for this. I think you should do this. I'm not living for this body of work. It doesn't live up to the genius that I know you are. But what did I do? Bought tickets to her show because I'm supporting. I'm streaming the music. Spotify ain't got a lie. Okay. I'm really streaming her music. So I don't know. I like it though. I like this song. I don't know if Neo Soul, let me see. FYS, she is singing really like for real. Yeah, I think she's singing really cute on this song. I like this song a lot, and so that's all I want to say on that. And I'm looking forward to whatever she does next. There's a reason I walk like this. I walk. Hey me handing and me bobbing on it. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I'm about to reach the 30-minute mark just talking about the shit. Okay, let's run through it. Hot or not? Hot. I enjoyed it. I love everything Flo does. They do no wrong. But here's where I'll say, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Right. People do love to hate these days. Listen, Stella is the lead vocalist, and they were giving me a bit of optical illusion by trying to move different girls in the middle, by but actually giving everybody their own individual part. But Stella, it's clear to me. I actually had to go back and watch several different live performances, re-listen to their EP, and I'm like, oh yeah, Stella is the lead vocalist. I'm gonna be honest with you. Stella has, to me, the most vocal range, and I mean, they all have a good amount of control. I think Renee can work on control a little bit. Renee's voice is not the most strong. It's the least strong of the group. And I'm saying that intentionally and not saying the worst because I think they're all strong, but there's one that is the least strong. Georgia is that girl. Georgia has a very thick voice. Love Georgia's voice. It's thick. It's full. I was looking for the word to describe her voice when I was listening to it. I'm like, Georgia's voice is thick. I can hear those chords chording. It's a muscle and it's flexed. Thank you. But Stella is the girl who's going to give you vocal acrobatics that are not overdone. She's the girl who's going to vocal flip back and forth from falsetto to chest, and they all do that, but the way that she does it and the runs and the riffs are just so crisp and perfectly timed every time. It's just like Stella is, and not that I hate, because I'm proud of all of these girls, but it does rub me a bit of the wrong way when the fairest girl of the group is the lead vocalist, which is why I think they try not to make that the case optically. Again, every lady deserves to shine, but it's just a story we've seen over and over again. Do you get what I'm saying? Where darker skinned folks are erased within groups. And so, yeah. But I do love Stella. I love all their personalities. I love their voice, and I love this song. It's hot. Let's move on. JT is going on tour, and this is the last thing before we get into Beyonce. Perfect. Oh my God, my arms. Chad, where's the manscape? Can I get a manscape on aisle 2? 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Next question. See ya. No, I'm just kidding. JT is going on tour, and JT not a headliner for Beyonce? No. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that JT is a headliner for Beyonce. This will be my first time hearing that. I think this tour is a solo tour, and people are saying, what is she going to go on tour with? Now, I think y'all forget that JT can tour with the City Girl music, just like Beyonce toured with Disney, and still does tour with Destiny's Child music. What is going on? Hot or not, though, I don't think it really makes sense for her to go on tour just yet. I don't want to say not, but I'm going to have to say not. She only has 2 singles released. Why wouldn't you drop an EP first? Hot or not? Not. Now, she does have material. Most of the City Girl songs have gone viral because of JT's verse. Girl, Throat Baby, we tuned in for JT. I like Suki, but like it's Lord. said something. Nigga, I don't want to hear it. We listen for No Bar, Sideways, obviously. Act Up. We listen for JT, but not enough. So I'm gonna give you a knot. It's not a chop, but it's a knot. Beyonce! Control yourself. Control yourself. Oh, and shout out to Tierra Whack. Shout out to Tierra Whack. I can't give it a hot or not, but I love Tierra, so I'm going to go ahead and give her a hot. I haven't listened to the full body. And even if I did listen to the full body, it don't give rate it just yet. Now, I want to see bees in the comments because, I did a little bit of research about Miss Carter and this motherfucker title. Very recently, last week, a couple days ago, Beyonce announced the second act of her highly anticipated, trilogy, and it is called Cowboy Carter. And she simultaneously dropped merch, CDs, vinyls. What's funny? One of my followers tweeted, Beyonce, oh, there she go. Beyonce back it again. Beyonce back it again. She is. She's bagging. She's doing her thing. Wait a minute. Herbie wears the bow tie and a cowboy hat. But let me do this. I'm going to hit you with this one here. Let me see. Can you get into this? This is what I can do for you for now. For now. Listen. Beyonce, Miss Beyonce, stop fucking begging, okay? Stop fucking begging. Because you and my internal financier are having a cunty battle. And guess what? Your cunt is bigger than mine. I'm ashamed to say it, but your cunt is bigger than mine. Okay? And so with that being said, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Did I buy a vinyl? Yes, I did. I bought it. It is important for me to buy the things that she drops. But by the time Beyonce is done with this trilogy, I'm going to be deeper in Beyonce debt than student loan debt. And you know what? I'm not mad at it. It's debt that I won't regret. So listen, onto the name, because a lot of people have talked about the name. A lot of the girls hate the name. But listen here. I too hated the name initially. I wasn't even, I'm like, that's not the name. That's the name of the merch drop. Y'all shut up. But then I saw on the box, it said Act 2 Cowboy Carter. And I said, hands up. You Beyonce, put your hands up. How about the shoe? Beyonce! But after first of all, I hated it. And then before I even did the research to find out what I'm about to tell you that I found out, I was like, you know what? I hate it because I wanted the next thing to be called Revolution or Revelation, something in the line of like The Matrix or something, something that just feels very cool, very futuristic, like, yes, Beyonce, eat. Or, I wanted something like Enlightenment, something very much in line with the Renaissance era. But after doing my digging, I found out. Well, here's what I'll say. Beyonce, and this is what I thought myself before even doing the digging. Beyonce definitely wants to align. Obviously, her name is Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. And so she wants to align herself with an image of a cowboy that's inextricably linked to country music. This way, you can't misgenre her, right? As they often do with Black and brown talent, right? There are Latin artists dropping full pop albums and they're like, I'm Latin. It's Latin. But why? Because you're a Latina, bitch. Oh, hands up. Don't shoot. It's a pop record. Camila Cabello is dropping pop. Havana is a pop record. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway. And it's also very much in the vein of, if you look at like Tina Turner, right? Tina Turner did a country album and it was called Tina Turns the Country On. Love that. Y'all know I love Tina Turner. Y'all know I'm obsessed. I recently talked about that. Anyway, and Ray Charles, he dropped an album, a country album called Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music, right? So very much making it undeniable that I'm shifting out of the genre that you knew me for into country, and you can't say this is anything else because down to the title is giving that theme, right? But I did some more digging. Y'all know I'm a digger. I like to dig. What can I do? And Cowboy Carter is brilliant. Brilliant. So if you remember back to my video that I did called Beyonce is Reclaiming Black Culture, we talked about the inception of country music, right? And how it was initially called hillbilly music, and it is what gave rise to it, right? Becoming a respectable genre, was that it existed solely in minstrel shows, right? Aimed at mocking and dehumanizing Black folk. So they would take the music and the sonics and the instrumentation that Black folks were creating, right, and incorporate that in those minstrel shows to make fun of them. But the gag was the people really, really enjoyed that instrumentation, right? So they were like, actually, can you make that a real record? Because we live a little bit. We live a little bit, thank you. So they kind of took a detour, but still pulling, like directly imitating Negro spirituals, field songs, and like religious hymns created by enslaved Africans at the time, right? And so what happened, look, they loved it, whatever. They were very entertained, more so than the minstrel shows. And that's what gave rise to country music. Here's where it ties in to the Cowboy Carter. A lot of what people accredit the like legitimacy of country music is because of the wild success of the father of country music, Jimmy Rogers, and the first family of country. Yes, yes, you guessed it. The Carter family. The Carter family. Yeah. The first family of country is known as the Carter family. Now, they're widely known and respected for, obviously, like I said, being the first family of country. And as it's written in the history books, for pioneering the genre. Oh, they made it up. They made it up, guys, all on their own accord. Okay. Okay. Now, some of their biggest hits, like little, I want to make sure I'm quoting this correctly, like Little Darling Pal of Mine and When the World's on Fire, were stolen from Black folk, particularly When the World's on Fire was stolen from a Black minister at the time. But of course, it's the 1920s, right? So what arguing power do Black folk have? You're barely a civilian, but sit this one out. Sit this one out, right? So all credits for innovation go to the white folks who are stealing the things. And it is fair for me to say, before I make the full connection here, that they were influenced by much. Their biggest record, which is known as their theme song, well, maybe not their biggest, but one of the records they're most known for is Keep It on the Sunny Side, which was written by a Canadian white woman by the name of Ada Blackhorn, or Black, whatever, a hymn writer, white woman, whatever, right? So they're pulling from a number of different places. But the very foundation, the instrumentation and the stylistic choices came from the vocal stylings and the instruments of the enslaved Africans, right? And fun fact, here we go. I'm tying the knot, honey. Maybelle Carter, the sister right there, was renowned for the way that she played the guitar. It was known as the Carter Scratch. Who taught her that? You take a wild guess at the race of the human being that taught her that. Well, not taught. He taught her. Black, nigga. Sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you. Leslie Riddle is the name of that man. The very foundation of these folks' success, he was known as a human recorder. He would go listen to different things, pick up different melodies, and bring it back to them and basically teach them how to perform the way that they performed. He was their brain in terms of the sonics of their work, right? And so I guarantee we're going to hear that Carter Scratch on the album. We'll go through that in the Act 2 analysis video. If I hear it, I'm going to be listening for it. But this album is about more than just Beyonce associating herself with being a cowgirl or a cowboy and reclaiming country, right? It's about paying homage to the Black country cowboy that inspired the first family of country music, right? It is about aligning herself with that magic and that legacy. The whole purpose of this trilogy is to reassign and to create a work that inspires folks who are interested in media, culture, and art like myself to do the work to present those stories, right? And art can be interpreted in a number of ways, but when it is informed by history, if you're a student of art, if you're a lover of art, most folks will just hear the music, like the music, what have you. But then when you really enjoy something, you want someone who's going to break it down a little bit more. And so I think that your Beyonce is aware of that, about the way that there are good cultural critics out there and folks who just like to do this on their own time. Before I started doing this on cam, I was doing this behind the scenes. So yeah, it's really just about her in essence being a revisionist historian, and giving credit back to Leslie Riddle, and being rewriting who is the Cowboy Carter, who is the first family or the first person of country. So good, so good, so good. I hope I gagged you, because I was gagged. Yeah. What do you mean? I wonder if a part of the name decision is in honor of her son as well, like a spiritual sequel to Black is King. Her son's name is Sir, though. What? I don't get it. All of their last names are Carter. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm moving on. Dolly Parton, though, did give us a little bit of tea, which I live for. I'm like, ugh, if Beyonce does this, if Beyonce does a rendition, whether it is a sample or an outright just redoing the whole thing, or an interpolation of Jolene, I'm going to literally gag. Dolly Parton says, when asked if the rumors are true that Beyonce would record the country icon's classic, Dolly Parton at 78, I don't know why they put women's ages. Dolly Parton says, well, I think she has. I think she's recorded Jolene, and I think it's probably going to be on her country album, which I'm very excited about. You better spill the tea, Dolly. You better put it into the universe. Speak those things that maybe not as though they were. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I will enjoy this. If this comes out of it, I'm absolutely going to enjoy it. I'm making fabulous time. So we are about to get into what the initial commenter was looking forward to. I'm gonna scroll up, and I'm gonna get you again. Hold on, scrolling all the way up. Where you at, sister? Where you at? Oh my god, I have to scroll so long. So many comments. Hey y'all. this this had me cracking up before I came on live. For the first time ever, I just wanted to hear Herbie's thoughts on a white girl. What? Who said that? Who has said that? Y'all are funny. Okay, let's talk about a white girl. In my opinion, the white girl. The white girl. Listen. Or y'all want to hear let me see what y'all have to say. No. If she does Jolene, look me in my, and I want you to look me in my eyes when I say this. I'm gonna walk off just like, I can't bear it. I cannot bear it. Anyway, we'll do a brief intermission for the girls who are just getting here. Hi, how you going? Welcome, and you're welcome back to today's Homegirl Hangout. And for the patrons who may be rolling in a little bit late, like I said, this one is available to the public because I just kind of felt bad that my most recent Homegirl Hangout was a Patreon exclusive, but we will be doing a listening party for the album, in which I'll be giving you guys my raw and honest thoughts. When I did my first reaction, which wasn't a listening party because it wasn't live, this one will be live over on the Patreon. When I did my first one for Act 1, there were songs that I didn't live for. And, you know, I was much smaller. I had less than 5,000 subscribers at the time. But I wouldn't want people to know now what songs I don't initially live for. I need to sit with the body of work. But I will, you know, listen with y'all. And I'll try to get that hotline up. Y'all know I'm trying to get the homie hotline up and running. So by the time that drops, I'll try to have that up so that after we do a listening party, I can take some calls. So I just wanted to make that brief announcement in the middle of the show because I'll never forget about my girls. Bachelorette of Science. You know, I've seen her a couple of times. Thank you for the $10, fool. Girl, me. We think the same way, royalty. Is she? Is she really though? But is she really white though? She could be light skinned black if you ask me. Light skinned black, Afro Latita. Afro Latita. Right, right. Ari Brown. Very much Ariana Brown. Or at least Gonzalez. At least Gonzalez, honey. All right, let's move on. So, where do I begin with this? Where do I begin with this album? Ariana, this album for me was so monumental. Ariana, so monumental. I love this. I love this album. I love this album. I really do. And it's one that I sat with because I'm like, this is a very vocally restrained performance from Rihanna. Rihanna. Ah! Vocally restrained performance from Rihanna. I'm gonna leave that right there. Listen, I won't say this is her best work, right? But I will say that it's top 3. It's top 3. I'm just not ready to give it her best work yet, but it is incredibly elevated, and I think it's worth going through the things. So let's go. Right? Oh, and I will be giving you guys my top 5 from the album. If you haven't heard the album, I'm giving you reason to listen to it, okay? So stick with me. I feel like even if you don't really care about a thing, I might could get you to care a little bit about the thing, okay? So listen, let's start with the cover art. I think that's a great place to start because I saw on my XTL this cover art getting dragged, and I was like, I love this. I think that this is a direct homage to the message of Thank You Next, right? Like, Thank You Next ran so that this could fly, right? It is herself crying or laying on her shoulder, right? And for me, that's obviously representative of her being her own shoulder to cry on, which is powerful and empowering and like, woo, femme power. We love to see it. But there's also duality to this image, right? There is the duality of being in a position where you're too low and you need to be supported, right? And where you're operating at a high and you can stand to support others, or stand in the gap for the lower vibrational parts of yourself or your baser feelings, right? And I always appreciate duality and nuance in imagery and in pieces of art, because it always adds to the humanity of the piece. So I already felt like it's feeding the concept of the album, and I love that. I also love that this album is largely about intimate partnership, intimate relationship, and a realization of oneself, right? And there's something so refreshing about having that duality feed into that message. It's allowing yourself to, like I said, be both weak and strong, right? It's human. Let's move on. Oh, and one final thing, right? Although this image is okay, here's how I want to say this. A lot of artists, when they're doing their cover artwork, they have it front facing. This is shot from the back, and for me, that's from the vantage point of us viewing her, right? And there's something impersonal about looking away from someone, and it portrays kind of like the impersonal relationship and nature of our parasocial relationship with her. We don't really know her, right? We know the parts that she allows us to see. And I just think that it's brilliant. I know I'm spending a lot of time on the cover art, but I take imagery seriously and like several forms of media, right? It's what I went to school for. It was my form of study. But it's also a huge part of art that gets overlooked that I don't love, right? In a video-based content consumption world, we can kind of lose the beauty of an image. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just looked down and goes, I hate it. How am I supposed to handle that? I hate her, but she's a genius. Like, give her tens. Give her her tens. Give me my tens. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so what do I think necessarily? also say this: art does not have to be smart. I think that's important too, as a precursor. Art does not have to be smart. It doesn't have to make you think. It can operate as something that you just enjoy. It provides you a feeling that you just enjoy, a form of release. It can operate as an escape. There is immense value in that. Right. And I never want you guys to get confused that, like, yes, I am a girl who does the medium ghetto antics, but I also always, it's something that I can't. I'm an Aquarius. I live in my head. And so I always am going to be critical of things, even when I'm trying not to be. But I also love to just turn the fuck up and not think about things. Right. So there's a place for just the vibe. But I love art that considers all of that, right? Everything that considers everything doesn't have to be a think piece. Everything doesn't just have to be escapist, because maybe there's a little bit of irresponsibility in that, depending on how you view your role as an artist, right? And so I love work that does all of the things, right? And I do believe that this particular project does a number of those things. And I like that. I like that. Especially when you're presenting your work to a diverse body, right? You want to feed as many people. So I appreciate smart art, but it is not a necessity. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Because one thing about me, I'm going to get on my high horse and get behind that pulpit, honey. Now listen, the album starts with the end of the world. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now this is only a minute long. Why do I have so many thoughts? I don't know. Like a minute and 30 seconds. It's essentially asking an existential question, right? If the world was ending, who do I have, or do I have that someone who cares for me so much that even with all of this happening, right? They're thinking about me. In your final moments, I'm the person that you consider. I'm the thing on your mind, right? And even to put it lighter, it's like when you go to bed at night, I'm your last thought. Something about that is so magnificent. And you know what? What I think about this question, when I think about this question, it hit me hard. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I've listened to this album for the first couple times. I listen to albums, just I have them play. I don't really listen to the words. I'm like, do I like the melody? Do I like the chorus? Do I like the beat? Beautiful gowns, right? That's how I listen to the album the first couple of times. And then I start to listen with intentionality, and then I listen with the lyrics. I'm just obsessive compulsive in that way. But yeah, when I'm listening to this album immediately, which is not normal for me, as I just told you, my music listening process, I'm like, wait a minute. Emotions, because the end of the world feels so real. I know so many people can relate. Everybody feels like, or many people feel like, if an atomic bomb, if I got a notification right now on my phone that an atomic bomb dropped over there, I wouldn't gag out of shock. I would gag out of frustration. Like, what are these men in power doing? I hate it here. Like, please take me to Mars now. I'm ready, aliens. I'm ready. I've always identified as a Martian, honestly. I'm out of this world. I'm an alien superstar, to be honest. But I think that fear, also in this hypothetical scenario, we are caring about the people who who were made victim by the atomic bomb. But I think just being in a new generation being of the new generation, where when I grew up, global warming was a continuous conversation, climate change is a constant conversation, but I'm seeing the actualization of those things, right? I'm seeing the wildfires in California, in the rainforest. I'm seeing ice globes, or ice glaciers melt the size of full states in Antarctica. And I'm like, oh, so like no kids, cut it. So another club, next please, no sleep. Girl, we're out of this bitch. Okay, aliens, you know what to do. And so really, what you a lot of times I do, sometimes driving in the car, I do a lot of thinking in the car, I do a lot of crazy thinking in the car. And I'm like, how good it feels to know that there's someone out there who, if it all ended, there's someone who's thinking about me. There's someone who would make this world that always feels like it's on the brink of destruction, who makes navigating this life just a little bit easier, who makes it softer, who considers me first. Like, I don't know why this song took me there. It did. It took me there. And I asked myself, I'm like, what does that lover look like? Like, what does that love look like? And so into the world being kind of like this existential desire. But y'all know the weight of my heart, my fear, I get so vulnerable in these moments, but it's always rooted in community, platonic friendship, um, or just like intimate. Um, Girl, I am in my feels. I'm gonna be in my feels for the bulk of this review because that's where she took me. And also, I've said this numerous times. Ariana Grande is the princess of pop. The only reason why she's not the queen of pop in my mind is because Rihanna exists. Rihanna exists, but she is the highest princess of pop. I fucking stand this bitch. Anyway, yes, that's where my mind went. But remember the question that I asked: what does that love or what does that lover look like? Because it feeds into the review a little bit later on. Um, I'm soon come if that's what you desire. I'm speaking that over your life. And you meant to say, so I'm disconnected. It's okay. Soon come. Okay. Then we move to bye. Bye, bye. Yes. Play it again. Play it again. I love Bye. Like I said, I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 at the end, but I will tell you this is my favorite song on the album. Like Bye is that girl. It is my favorite track. It's very R&B. It's very positions coded. Like this could have been on Positions, and I wouldn't be like, well, this doesn't fit. No, it fits. It definitely fits. I love R&B. I love an R&B moment. It is what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I live for that. Thank you. And so I'll say I love when she sings like that little white black girl that she is. Yes, Patti LaBelle. Yes, Patti LaBelle. But I love that song. And you know what's crazy? As I'm actually listening to the lyrics, I'm like, oh, this just depressed. This just depressed. Why am I ready to twerk to this? Why am I resonating with these lyrics? Is this pussy depressed? This pussy depressed. This pussy is depressed. I didn't know what to do. Sister, we love having you. I love you, Danielle. Thank you for the coins. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting. You're a real one. Love you, homegirl. Love you, homegirl. Okay. If you send coins, I have to stop all production, right? It's only right. Love you, Danielle. Now, yes. So basically, what I found out is yes, this C is depressed. I researched it and I found out, indeed, indubitably, this C is depressed. What happened? I have a message from my proverbial vagina. She been quiet for too long. Girl, she's been alone for too long. Anyway, let's move on. I don't claim to actually have a vagine. Let's move on, y'all. Ariana Grande claims this isn't an FU record, right? That she's saying essentially like, I'm just going to gracefully bow out from this situation in the most kind way because this situation isn't serving you or me. But girl, it's no world in which you say, boy, bye. And I don't perceive that or I don't receive that in the way of like, middle fingers up. I ain't thinking about you. Like it's very sorry coded. Boy, bye. You know, I love it. And I love that there's a dual meaning that she intends for and that I receive from it. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so next song is Don't Break Up Again or Don't Want to Break Up Again. This song is a crossover for me between a dumb chick anthem and femme empowerment, right? Because how many times did you break up with that dude, sis? You know, how many times did you say, I'm leaving. I'm done with this. I'm done with you. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. I'm leaving. And then it's 2 a.m. and you're leaving the club. You got a long drive home. He don't live so far. I mean, you're not doing that fucking far. I mean, I may as well send that text like, you up? The fuck? You up, TF? Oh, you is? Oh. I'm on the way. Well, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Damn. Unlock the door. Unlock the front door. Matter of fact, enter through the back. Let me enter through the back for my pride. Unlock the garage door. Shit. I gotta get into the side for my pride. For my pride. No, but seriously. In that way, it's a dumb chick anthem. But it's also I'm sorry, I'm unserious. It's also a femme empowerment anthem because it is an acknowledgement of one's own faults, right? And kind of like the codependency that can be easy to fall into when you really like somebody. You know what I mean? Like you don't even realize what you're doing is codependency until it's like, okay, I have to go. I'm leaving. And then you try to leave and you're like, oh, actually, I don't feel whole without this man. Like, I'm sorry, I'll sit it. I have no life without him. I couldn't resist pulling a Jill Scott, honey. Unlock the door now. I wouldn't even say it like that. I'd probably be like, "Can you come to the front and unlock the door? Thank you. I'm outside." Mwah. No bars. But yeah, I do love, you know. I do love Don't Want to Break Up Again. It's a cute song. She's cute. I enjoy her. I enjoy her immensely because I can relate. I'm still relating at this present moment, actually. I'm going to be very honest with you. I am still relating. Pray for me. Put me at the top of your prayer list. Thank you. So then we have a break for the satin interlude. Let me tell you something. One thing about me, I love an interlude. One of my favorite songs from one of my favorite albums in life is Blonde by Frank Ocean. I have taste. What can I say? And everybody hates the Facebook story where there's the guy like, yeah, she blocked me or she unfollowed me because that man in Paris talking about, you know, how social media impacted him and his relationship. And I enjoy that. I also enjoy this. What is the song called where it's his mom and she's like, let me tell you, I loved it because when I was in my first relationship, I was a pothead. I can't smoke weed now because I have panic attacks every single time. And I used to smoke weed. I started smoking weed when I was 16 and at a Catholic school. One of my white woman friends, Kelly was her name, loved her bad. She introduced me to marijuana. And his mom says, what did she say? You're selfish, lazy, stupid, and unconcerned. That's all marijuana does to you. I used to be in my dorm high as shit listening to that like, there is a paper looking at me and I'm looking at it. I should be writing it, but I'm smoking a joint. And then I'm gonna go to the dining hall. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna go to another club, next place, no sleep, and wait until about 4 hours before it's due and lock in. Girl, you should have been typing. Anyway, I said it to say I love interludes. I love interludes with a good instrumentation. It's such a moment. Yes, love Saturn Return. It gave me very much cheap therapy. You know, a lot of times when girls do it right, it gives cheap therapy. I can't afford therapy, so I love a moment that therapizes me. Therapize me. Thank you. Okay. I need your help here. Okay, I need your help here. Eternal Sunshine, I Am Confusion. Oh wait, hold on. Because somebody is reading right. That weed and procrastination add up. That's addiction. Yeah. That's addiction. See, I never could be addicted because I had my first bad trip on my 18th birthday when I smoked an Extendo. So I smoked from 16 to 18 with no issues. Euphoric. The girl who introduced me to weed, Kelly, used to drive me home from school. We went to Dairy Queen all the time. I always smoked, and I never had any issues. But there was one day I smoked an Extendo for my birthday, and I'm like, oh, I'm coming over, Kelly. We're going to smoke. I'm going to face this Extendo myself. Like, fuck it. And I smoked that Extendo. By the time it was done, you see my complexion. I went to the mirror in her house. My face was green. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know who was in control. My face was green. I remember it was green and it was moving. It was moving. Like, not like, but like everything was moving. Nothing would remain still. I'm trying to grab the damn mirror. I'm like, stop moving. Oh my God. Like everything, like, and then my heart was boom, boom, I was like, oh, it's gonna come out. No, this is. I don't think it wants to be in here anymore. Does anyone have? It's gonna bust out my chest. It was the worst experience of my life. I did not smoke for a week, like a year after that. But then when I went to college, everybody was like, "Do you smoke? Do you smoke? Do you smoke?" And I'm like, "It's been a while. I can't." But that fear and that fear never left me. So every time I would smoke, or most times I would smoke, if I wasn't with my man, right? My man soothed me. I was like, how could I ever have a bad trip with my man? I would go on to have a bad trip with him. But and also the situations that he would bring the weed out, I was like, right after I'm done smoking this J, my mind is gonna be on so many other things. Hello. Hello. Okay. But yeah, I can't do it now because I have bad trips. Anyway, that wasn't no Kush, babe. Kush was all I smoked in high school. We've got to move on. Oh, I need your help. Oh my God. Girl, the strain was doing a lot. Girl, literally me, my first time with the TV. I'm like, oh wait, this is not hybrid, indica hybrid. Whoa. Why is the room moving? Anyway, baby, you were laced. People have said that. I just think, you know how long an extendo is? An extendo is like the length of 2 full blunts. And I was the girl who I always smoked in rotation with 3 or 4 people. I never to that point, I may have faced the blunt myself, not in one sitting, right? I was 16, 17, not in one sitting, over time. So to try and face an extendo was crazy. Anyway, I don't think I was laced. I just think I was way too fucking high. Because similar things have happened, just never the face green thing. And never the room is moving. That was independent to that one situation. But the heartbeat and stuff, yuck. Yes, that's happening again. Anyway, Eternal Sunshine is where I need you guys' help. So she is talking about a man who cheats. She replaces him with a new guy who she loves. But she continues to say that he, the man who cheated, is her eternal sunshine. I don't understand what's happening. Can someone help me with that, please? Yes, Mia is saying the same thing that I'm saying. You're equally confused. I was confused with Eternal Sunshine because the POV of the song, she is talking about the guy that cheated on her and now is moving on, but she's telling the first guy he's her Eternal Sunshine. That is my confusion as well. I'm like, who wrote this? Where is and considering this is the title track, why am I confused by it? Is that the intention? I don't know. Can someone help? It's based on the movie. Yeah, the Jim Carrey movie. Go on Genius and it explains it. Let's go on Genius right now. No, we don't have the time. It's already been an hour. I'll do that, and we'll talk about this in the future. But I do want to pause to talk about some of the logistic things about this album. Max Martin, his brilliance is peppered all throughout this project. He's the producer and also a co-songwriter on this album, and his influence is so clear. If you're unfamiliar, Max Martin has written on Dangerous Woman, Thank You Next, and Sweetener. And so Ariana Grande describes him as someone who kind of can strike a delicate balance for her between allowing her to embrace her human vulnerabilities that she has as a writer, but also pull her back into the pop appeal that she needs as an artist, which is so evident. And I appreciate that. I also appreciate that Ariana Grande is a writer on, I think, every song on this album, or many. Also, the level of enunciation that Ariana Grande has. I'm cracking up. The level of enunciation that Ariana Grande has. Oh wait, are you saying that that's what it means? That she is confused? Anyway, we'll figure this out later. The level of enunciation that Ariana Grande has is actually impeccable. I think one of the largest critiques Ariana Grande has gotten is her breath control throughout her career. It's her breath control or lack thereof, which has noticeably increased in terms of her ability to control her breath, right? And her inability to enunciate through a song. It's a lot of, right? It's a lot of that. And I'm losing the words. What are you actually saying? And that is directly linked to her being in Wicked. I mean, you know, when you're doing a Broadway production, come to film, they want you to, or a musical, they want you to enunciate everything. In acting, you have to enunciate everything. You can't, you know, all that kind of stammering and things, clamoring, you have to speak clearly. And so I appreciated it. I really, really appreciated it. And I think that elevated this album. Her notable influences, if you guys don't know, Ariana Grande, I don't know if she's ever said this, but she is very influenced by Celine. Not so much Celine Dion, by the way. Not so much on this project, but definitely Dangerous Woman. You can hear those influences. Here on this album, I can hear the influences of Brandy. She's so influenced by the Brandy Ashanti of it all. The girls don't give Ashanti enough credit. We give Brandy much, as we should. I don't know. I'm with T.S. Madison. I don't know about Vocal Bible. And I know Kiki said the girls who don't get the Vocal Bible gag, it's a chop for them. I'm with T.S. Madison when it comes to vocal pamphlet. I love Brandy's ability to vocal stack and her ability to hit these notes with such breath and softness to where you don't even realize the range that she has access to. It's technique. It is technique. But Bible, girl, not the holy book. Mm-mm. 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 But I hear Brandy influences, Ashanti influences in this album with that soft, breathy singing and the vocal stacking. And I know she attributes a lot of her styling to Victoria Monet, but Victoria Monet is very, and she will tell you, she's very inspired by Brandy. All the girls are inspired. Many of the girls study Brandy. So I guess that's what people mean, but you can study a pamphlet. You know, you can study a pamphlet. Now, you're actually more likely to get through the pamphlet than the Bible. I mean, hands up, don't shoot. Listen, yeah, I hear a lot of Victoria Monet's influences always. Obviously, we hear Mimi. We're always going to hear Mariah Carey. But I just wanted to point out those things because I love when I know where something is coming from. That just makes me feel good about myself and in my own skin. A single, the single testament, right? She can be a testament. She can be, now I might give her a testament. She can be a vocal testament because let me tell you something. If she's the Old Testament, which she wouldn't even be in my book, if I was to give a testament to someone, it would be Whitney. Because who did Brandy study? Whitney. Now, who did Whitney study? We can just keep going, right? Aretha, and she studied, a lot of choir people. But in terms of, listen, I get why people say it because Brandy's influence is undeniable, right? And people don't say that so much about Whitney because Whitney is more of an impactful artist than an influential artist, if that makes sense. If we're juxtaposing these two people, Whitney has influenced many of the girls. Don't get me wrong, but I think you get what I'm saying relative to Brandy and the people who pick up what Brandy is doing with her decisions. Anyway, I don't know. I don't even know if I can stand on that. Can I even stand on that? Because Brandy's influence is a lot, okay? Here's what I'll say. If we did have to give a New Testament to someone, to me, the New Testament is going to be Jasmine Sullivan. And y'all know how much I stand that lady. But the New Testament is going to be Jasmine Sullivan. I have to be honest. Now, back to Ariana Grande, because we already over time. I'm glad that somebody I'm glad. Okay, so y'all feeling me. Okay. So y'all feeling me. And I need to document that people was feeling me, that I wasn't just saying anything. Okay, so let's try to move a little bit quicker. The boy is mine. Oh, wait, did I skip something? I skipped a lot. Supernatural. This song is horny. It's very witch coded. Ariana Grande herself has said that she is, I don't know if she necessarily called herself a witch, but she's definitely said that she's dabbled in that thing. Listen, I have come to terms with the fact that a lot of the girls are into that witchy shit. I don't give a, quite frankly, I do not care. I do not care. Because a lot of these girls do witchcraft and the songs ain't selling. So you're not putting enough quartz crystals and Epsom salt in a studio. Pepper this studio with Epsom salt. Epsom salt, organic honey, tea leaves, and freshly mowed lawn. This is what you need to do. Because she put her supernatural puss in Supernatural. Do you hear me? Yeah, it's just very much how a witch would call for a DA. Yeah. Shout out to all my ladies who have had some no couth. No couth. No couth. Yes. True story. True story is cute. She's poking fun at kind of like the way that people paint her out to be a villain. Is she a villain? We're all a little villainous. Come on now, damn. You know what I mean? We're all a little villainous. It's a cute little song. Not my fave, but it's not a skip. There are no skips on this album. It's not a skip, but it's not my fave. It's not my fave. Gotta be honest. The boy is mine. I can't wait to try him. The boy is mine. Oh, sorry, girl. My prep fail. Girl, my prep fail. Why is my prep on this table? It's usually over there. Anyway, so yes, I do like The Boy Is Mine. Super, super cute. You know, she is in her and what about it era with that little and what about it? I said, oh, so you are sleeping with that lady's husband. So you are sleeping with that lady's husband. I'm gonna tell you something. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me. Cause I would have yanked her ass up by that little ass ponytail. Yanked her ass up. Could have been my man. Well, I would have yanked my man up. Well, I would in real life, I don't do none of that. I'm a non-violent person. Genuinely. So I wouldn't yank anybody up, but emotionally, I'm yanking a bitch up. So yeah, I like it. Certified Bop, obviously one of the best songs on the album. Yes, and a bop. Let's move on. We can't be friends. You know, I think it's shade at the fickle nature of today's criticism because it's a delusional baddies anthem. You know, like I'm gonna ignore all the negative comments, and when I drop something and y'all love me again, I'll be back. I'll be back when you love me. When you love me again, I'll be back. And you know what? I got to be honest. If you're a person who puts anything out online, literally whether you have 12 followers or 12 million followers, if you put anything out online, you know how sometimes you're afraid of like what people might think or girl, who flew this out in a group in a group chat? What is it? What is it giving? What are the girls thinking? Are they reading me? And I only want to hear positive thoughts. I want to see yes, queens, and you're perfect, and slay down boots caboodle, slay the house. In the comments. Thank you. Mwah. I wish I hated you. Um, wait, what's the reach? Do we need to Photoshop? Wait, what are you saying? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me not let me move on. Let's move on. This is how I gotta stop clicking things. I wish I hated you. Sad, maybe too sad for me. Imperfect for you. You know, the guitar and the twang of how she entered the song, I thought it was going to be a country moment. I'm like, okay, yes, bitch, give me country. And I love the twisted meaning of like your imperfections are what make you perfect for this person. I love it. One of my favorite songs. Let's heal together. Ordinary things. So you remember at the beginning of this review where I said that I wanted to know what that love looked like or what that lover looked like and what the love felt like. That kind of person that would love me at the end of the world, right? And I think this song describes that kind of the love that you're longing for in the beginning of this like in the beginning of this album. Having someone who specializes the mundane, who makes every moment special, right? Like you just coming home is a moment for me. And I think you realize that in hindsight when you have these memories where it's like, oh, we're just going to the Chinese store to grab food and we both look a mess. You get out, no, you get out. Now we're both are out. We said something that was super funny. We had a laugh that hurt our stomach. And now we have a moment. All we did was go grab Chinese. But we'll forever reference, and now it lives because we have an inside joke that we can reference. When other people are around, they don't realize that we have this thing that we can reference that brings us instant joy. And I really felt like, you know, what a way to end this all. Right? This was an emotional roller coaster. But it really is saying, what is life without someone who can make those ordinary moments special? And someone who I just feel like, I don't know. it feels like you, not that you can't do life without them, but you refuse to. So good. My top five. My top five are Bye. Don't want to break up. The Boy Is Mine. Imperfect for You. And y'all gonna gag. Girl, and Saturn's Return to Interlude. I told you, bitches, I love an interlude. I love an interlude. It is therapy to me. Hands up, don't shoot. Um, so I really, really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this homegirl hangout. Obviously, we are coming to a close. I am finalizing. I got my interviews in and finalizing my script for the Black male femininity in media trope video. Show up for that. Beyonce is dropping in 2 weeks. Obviously, I'll be doing analysis of that. Obviously, patrons, like I said, will be doing a listening party over on the Patreon. So be on the lookout for them. And is there anything else that I want to say? I don't think so. What time is it? The night is still young. Okay. Now I guess I'll have to go listen. You know, it's good. I am a fan of Ariana Grande. So it was easy for me to get into it. And I think after a few listens, you can really get into, because it's a vocally, like I said, it's a vocally restrained performance by her. And so what comes to the forefront is the lyrics, especially because she's enunciating so well on this project. I love, love, love y'all too bad. Wait, hold on. What you mean? Hold on, let me close this up and come in. It's me reading comments like, bitch, you need to go ahead and end live. The boy is mine. Oh, I'm full size again. Is the background supposed to look like what? Like what? Homegirl hangout? Anyway, oh, I'm a big fan of you. I'm actually a big fan of you. I love y'all too bad. Before I let you go, you know I will never ever leave you without saying this. I am in a constant state of practice, and so are you. You can never fail when you're in a constant state of practice. I love you too bad. Bye, whole world. Mwah.